are just disagreeing on police opinions are valid. They're disagreeing on what. What is she talking about? How this literature shows in the reaction state of why authority to parent. I don't know what she's talking about. Let's just get straight to the video, man.
Two groups of people can watch the exact same video of a woman being killed.
So I saw this video and then I heard they kill innocent women. But people gotta be stupid, okay? Like, bro, you see this a police officer who has a right, who can take your life, and you decide to do stupid shit because if I'm not armed, I can commit a crime. Why are you driving away? Let the police officer do his work. You know, some people are fucking crazy.
Killed and walk away with completely opposite stories about what happened. Okay. What struck me about the Renee Good killing wasn't just the brutality of the act itself. It was the...
Why don't you take the police officer and let's run you over? Yeah, go ahead. Go and stand. I want to try and see, you know what I mean? How the human body works. Because what the fuck you mean? She almost ran that nigga over.
Official response and then the comment sections afterward.
Everybody who...
She didn't deserve to die, but don't be dumb, bro. You feel me? Don't be dumb to do stupid shit like this. You could have just stopped the car and, you feel me?
Who's been repeating the lie that this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her. You should be ashamed.
Yeah, he would definitely have banned you if he was back in the fucking medieval times. You know what I mean? Witch! He has no compassion or anything.
Ashamed of yourselves.
People aligned with the current regime looked at the same footage and saw obvious self-defense, obvious necessity.
Yeah, you almost ran him over. You almost ran him over. Why did you drive away? You almost ran him over. Or am I tweaking? If you have a guy on, someone almost runs you over, what do you do?
Outside that orbit saw an obvious execution by the state. And that's not normal political disagreement. That's not like I like higher taxes and you like lower taxes. That's a fracture in what counts as...
Well, you're not even talking in parables. What the fuck do you mean? How is taxes getting with like somebody killing a police officer? What
empirical reality, what counts as a fact. Historically, that kind of split shows up in pretty dark places. So you can think of the stab in the back myth in Weimar Germany, where a huge chunk of the population insisted that Germany hadn't really lost World War I. It had been betrayed from within. Or the lost cause narrative after the U.S. Civil War, where an entire region retold slavery as benign and the Confederacy as noble against mountains of evidence. And in each case, the point wasn't just we disagree on policy, it was we live in different worlds about what happened. And that's the kind of break the Renee Good reaction is signaling now. So the question isn't just, was this shooting justified? And in my view, it was unequivocally not justified. It's what does it mean for a democracy when lethal force by the state becomes an optical test for entirely separate realities? So what if the core political divide isn't actually left versus right, but people who can tolerate ambiguity and discomfort?
You are so dysfunctional, bro. Why are you not answering the obvious question? Why did you try to run the cop over? Let's be real. I'm not saying she deserved to die and she didn't deserve to get shot, but why was you running away? Why did you, like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, come on.
Versus people who can't. A lot of research on authoritarianism finds the same pattern, which is people with authoritarian leanings tend to have very low tolerance for ambiguity. They want clear hierarchies, simple rules, and sharp boundaries between us and them. Ambiguous situations, new norms around gender, shifting racial hierarchies.
She's trying to sound like one of the prophets and shit. Like, bro, get to this point. What the fuck are you talking about? High accuracy and motherfucker. Like, bro, I don't get what she's saying. Bro, somebody got shot. Why did he drive away? Did he feel threatened? Did he? And even if it's the case, there was a mob. She didn't have no reason to like drive away. You know what I mean? She just felt, you know what I mean?
Changing demographics don't just feel confusing, they feel threatening. That internal panic gets externalized as a demand to make the world simpler again. get rid of the strange people, shut down the confusing practices, and punish the ones who break the old script.
Okay.
In a pluralistic democracy, difference and ambiguity are baked into the cake. You're always encountering people, beliefs, and bodies that don't fit your template. For some people, that's uncomfortable but manageable. For others, it's almost intolerable. And that's where you start to see attraction to strong men, purges, and fantasies of cleansing violence. So when we talk about a temperamental minority that can't easily live in pluralism, that's what we mean. Not that they're evil by nature, but that their nervous systems are constantly screaming, make this stop, when they encounter ambiguity or discomfort.
Listen, I said this the first time. If Americans, let's say right now, prices are high, everything's so fucking expensive, and they be like, yo, let's go to Mexico. And they start migrating. And started coming there and living there because it's cheaper and all this other stuff. You won't tell me there's no Mexican that will like react and say, I'm not defending them. But I'm saying though, don't they have a right to be like, yo, y'all can just pull up in here and, you know what I mean, cause problems. And by problems I mean where they're gonna sleep, where they're gonna work. You feel me? Housing problems also. Feel me? Don't they have a right to be like, yo? I can do that shit, but yeah, I can do that because yeah, in need. Like, come on. So I don't know about that one. What y'all think?
Without emotional regulation skills and self-insight, which, let's admit, most adults struggle with, but this temperament in particular, this can easily cause major issues inside a diverse society that is constantly changing. There's a brutal little paradox at the heart of any free society, and that's if you tolerate people who want to end tolerance, you eventually lose the whole thing. Can a democracy safely include people who fundamentally don't believe in democracy? At some point, the answer has to be not without limits. Karl Popper called this the paradox of tolerance. A fully tolerant society, he said, cannot be tolerant of movements that seek to destroy tolerance itself.
Was ich bei der offenen Gesellschaft gemeint habe, war eine Gesellschaft, sagen wir, in der man frei atmen kann, frei denken kann, in der jeder Mensch einen Wert hat und in der die Gesellschaft keine überflüssigen Zwänge über die Menschen ausübt.
That doesn't mean that you put people in prison for bad opinions. It means you draw hard lines around actions and organized projects.
Listen, you can't just go out just saying anything, bro. You just gotta know war is actually destroyed. Not war. Countries are destroyed by the power of the tongue. Tongue can cause wars. You know what I mean? Yeah, you just think, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you can just say anything. Go and just say anything that comes in your mind out there. And let's see if you won't come with a black eye. What the fuck are these niggas talking about? Freedom of speech, like, yeah, I think freedom of speech, I can say whatever. If I start cussing out your mother, talking shit about your family, what you do is freedom of speech. I can say what you want. Come on. Like, some of you are brain the head, bro.
Post-war Germany is a good example of this. It bans explicitly Nazi parties and can dissolve groups that aimed to overthrow the democratic order, precisely because it learned what happens when you let anti-pluralist movements capture the state. In the U.S. context, that's the unresolved problem. We've treated it's just another opinion and it's an organized attempt to end democracy as if they belong in the same bucket.
I get you cooking. I'm getting what she's
when
saying.
they don't. One can be tolerated. The other, if you let it run, will eventually shut down everyone else's voices. So the real question isn't, should we tolerate people we disagree with? Of course we should. The real question is, where do we draw the line when a movement's explicit or implicit goal is to eliminate the possibility of disagreement at all? When we get to the other side of this, the hardest problem maybe won't be rewriting the laws. It'll be living with a permanent minority that struggles to function in a pluralistic world. When this project eventually collapses,
Listen, them niggas, if they start going extreme and stuff, yo, you gotta be arrested. Like, come on. You can raise your opinion and all this stuff, but there's like that extremism, like being extreme. You know what I mean? Like how it's like how, let's say, how Twitch works. You know what I mean? If you say some extreme motherfucking shit, you just get banned. Like, come on, you knew that and this was wrong. You can't do that. You know what I mean? And it should apply to that. Like, hey, you can have your party and y'all can do everything y'all want, but if y'all start siding and like, you know what I mean? Like, like making the other party look bad, these type of people citing like war or making them, then it's like you're breaking the law. True, she said facts. We should make laws to make sure it doesn't come to that extreme.
As authoritarian projects tend to, will still be left with a sizable minority whose psychological profile doesn't magically change. They will still struggle with ambiguity and still prefer rigid hierarchies and still feel existentially threatened by visible difference. That means any viable after has to do at least three things. The first is to build hard legal and institutional limits so that anti-pluralist movements can't easily seize the state again, as post-war Germany has done.
Okay.
The second is that we need to invest early and deeply in teaching ambiguity tolerance, how to live with discomfort without immediately reaching for elimination. Third, create exit ramps for people who are leaving authoritarian spaces that don't require them to endure total humiliation or social death.
But US is so fucking crazy. They're living with these people 500 years, more than 500 years, and they still don't get, not even 500 years. That's a lot of years though. And they still don't come into terms with each other. Like, bro, that shows who the real problem is. Like, come on, bro.
Death. Because if the only options are domination or annihilation, people will cling to domination. This is not to excuse the harm that these people have done and are doing. Anyone committing crimes and atrocities should be held fully accountable. But for those who want to get off the rage carousel, there should be...
Yeah, even those who you say can do better than Drake, ban them. Ban them.
Ways to do that don't feel like total psychological extinction. None of that is clean or easy, but it's more honest. The project isn't just stop this, it's how do we design a society that can survive with a permanent, fearful, anti-pluralist minority without letting that fear run the whole show again.
Just put me in charge. Fuck all that. But hey, yo, like facts. They should just do everything like how she said. I don't know even why I reacted to this, but she said facts, bro. These people, the people who just are fucking out of their fucking mind, bro. They just want to dominate and all this crazy shit, bro. They're fucking crazy, bro. Dictators, gang. So they should do like Germany, like some extreme shouldn't like